I will officially call the meeting to order. And we need a roll call. So I will start. Marilyn Manish-Mucci,
Lizzie Thompson,
Barbara Fish,
Gina Esposito,
Lisa
Alec,
Tedor,
Alec McBrien.
Mary Ellen Anderson.
okay, we're all here. Woohoo. We need a motion for approval of the minutes from the last meeting, September 22nd.
I'll move that we approve the meeting minutes from September 22nd.
I seconded.
Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and now we need to approve the meeting agenda, but does anybody have any amendments they want to put on this agenda? Okay, then I'll have a motion for the approval, please.
I make a motion to approve the minutes. The agenda.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Aye.
that's approved. So do we have anybody that wants to be heard related or unrelated to the agenda, Tara?
No, I invited Harvey to the meeting, but I never heard back from him.
Okay, okay. All right, so now we're just like this is gonna be short for a minute. And then now we're on the director's report.
Okay, yeah, just a little bit today. So we're doing a big week, and so we can do an inventory, hopefully in January or February. We'll be closed for the better part of a week, as we've done in years past. We tried to do it last year, but COVID ended that one. So this year, hopefully we'll be closed and also be able to work together and get inventory done. We're well overdue for it. We're also going to be shifting a few collections around too. You may have already noticed the games. Our new games collection is at the beginning of the DVD collection to sort of feature it. So we're doing small shifts like that. It's part of our weeding process in January. We had the Manhattan Short Film Festival about 3-4 weeks ago. And it was really one of the only in-person programs that we've had in a long time, and it went well. Everyone was good about the masking, I guess. I don't know if anyone here went to it.
Well, I am so bummed because I bought a ticket for the first weekend and we had been out the road and we were doing stuff, and I just like totally forgot about it until like a half an hour after it started. And Jeff said, I thought you were going to, and I went, so I was really bummed. And then I mulled over seeing if I could just do it the next weekend. But I think that's when I don't know why I didn't. My life must have been, I don't know. So how did people like it? Did somebody
Roxy
go?
loved it. I know. She thought it was great.
Okay.
I thought too, a lot of the shorts were amazing. I thought were very good.
Yeah.
Good.
I loved it, the previous ones, and that I read it, the films seemed like they were going to be really great. So I'm glad that people did go, because we don't want to lose that option to be able to have it here.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah, and then we managed to pull it off when we were having that local outbreak. Was awesome. And also that the power didn't go out.
Right.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
so that was great. And actually that power, what was a fluctuation in our building, not an outage. It killed a couple of our switches that control our public wireless internet. And so we were down for a couple of days, but Devon worked with PCS, our IT folks, to fix that problem. So it was pretty short-lived and fixable. It was funny because we already had the equipment on site. So that was just a weird fluke. Otherwise, we would have been out probably for 10 days.
Wow.
Wow.
So how was the attendance at the festival? Did I miss that part?
Yeah, 24 people attended between the two. I think it was like 8 at one and more at another or something. But so we only sold 30, or we only had 30 tickets for each event. for sale, just so that people can keep their distance from each other. Normally, we would sell the full 62, which is the room capacity. Kari wanted to split it up, which I thought was a good idea. One thing I didn't write in my report, which I totally forgot about and wanted to bring to light, was the homegrown conversations that we had on September 30th for Orange Shirt Day. I don't know if anybody here listened to this. It was, so Orange Shirt Day is it's actually now a national holiday in Canada for that recognizes the those lost and the survivors of Canada's residential school system. And so it Kari for Homegrown Conversations interviewed Derek O'Soup, who's from Manitoba, and his sister and brother-in-law. And if you have a chance, go onto our website and have a listen, because it was amazing.
It was really good. I listened.
I listened also.
Yeah.
So just a quick one, is there, Tara's really quiet for what, me? Is anybody else straining to hear her?
I can
Is it just
hear
me?
No, I
She's
can
quiet.
hear fine.
I can hear it, but it's just quiet.
I'll bring it
Yes,
up. Is this a
can
little
you-
better?
I don't know, talk.
It's about the same, but I can hear you.
Okay, my microphone appears to be on.
Yeah, now, okay, it's better now.
Okay. Okay.
But I did also, Gina, I listened and it was really, really good, really good. I had no idea that he,
Uh-huh.
came
Go
from
in and
all of
listen.
that.
Yeah, and I think it really shone a light on like Kari's how amazing of an interviewer Kari has become as part of this process of taking library programming out of real life and onto the radio. I mean, I think she did such a skilled job of handling such a difficult topic. It was fantastic. As I listened, I thought to myself, of all the library programs that I've been lucky to be a part of in my career, I've never heard anything quite as impactful, I think, as that particular interview. So if there was an award we could give Kari, I would give it to her.
Good.
Mhm.
We should make,
great.
Yeah, so I just wanted you guys to all be aware if you hadn't had a chance to catch it. You can listen to it on our website if you want to.
okay, thank you.
Well, I didn't hear it, but I agree with you that Kari has become, she has a certain genius, it seems like. And so I'll follow up and I'll listen on that. But I agree with you that she deserves a reward anyway, but that's pretty high praise there to think that, to say that was the pinnacle.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I texted
Yeah, I agree. She did a fabulous job. And maybe she said, but I cannot remember. How did she know to contact him?
Well, actually, way back when Jess had told me that Derek was from Manitoba and that he was First Nations, and so that he is someone in his family had gone to residential school, and so when we were thinking about what we could do for September 30th, I was like, I know it's a long shot, but I should check in with Derek and see if maybe
Yeah.
talk about courageous. I mean, he did it, and what an uncomfortable
Right.
situation for us two women, and he handled it so graciously. And his sister and brother-in-law were so well spoken.
Yep.
That was just kind of good fortune for us that Derek agreed to do it.
I texted him right after it ended to tell him he did a great job, and then he said, he was like, "Thanks so much. I was really nervous," and I said, "Well, you sounded great, and especially for such an emotional subject, you did a really good job." And he was thankful, and he's glad he did it.
Mhm.
I can't wait to listen to it.
I know.
Me too. I haven't heard it yet.
And what I'm wondering is, I mean, I imagine with all the podcasting that is going on, is there some kind of competition we can enter it in, or is there some way to send it to NPR or?
Well, technically, state NPR might have access to it with it being on KFSK. I don't know how they aggregate everything.
Oh,
but
right.
I'll look and see if there's anything. Or just a library award for sort of innovative library programming in
Mhm.
COVID times, I think.
Yes, that would be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, like Kari's questions were really thoughtful, and how she asked them were very thoughtful and kind. It was, yeah, she did a great job.
There is
And
oh, sorry.
no, go ahead, Gina.
Oh, just that if there is some kind of award like thing, library award that you were doing, then it could be repackaged or whatever, that like where you would kind of share that if she did receive an award or there was an award, then that could be shared, and then that would be another chance for people to listen to it if they hadn't yet.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
So you could reach more people on a second tier of it.
Yeah, good point.
There was something like that, you know.
Or even just make sure the other radio stations are aware of it.
Yep.
Maybe some Canadian stations too.
All I have for my report.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to move along to unfinished business, and that's congratulations to our board members that we re-elected,
Yes.
Lisa and Gina. Thank you for running, and thank you for winning. It's great. Okay, everybody, new business. The annual election of the board chair and vice chair. Ta-da!
Well, I move that Marilyn, since you're doing such a fantastic job, that
Oh,
you
she's good.
continue as board chair. And I believe Lizzie is the vice chair, and she's,
am I?
aren't you? And continue on.
I thought
That's my motion.
I thought Barb was vice chair.
No. And I don't really care to be vice chair. I think Liz, if I remember right, Lizzie is vice chair.
I think
It's such a hard job and it takes a lot of my time.
Okay, everybody, there's a
I
motion now.
I second it.
Good.
Okay, discussion. Are you sure someone else doesn't want to, it's,
No,
I mean, if anybody else wants to, I'm fine with handing over the reins.
Marilyn, I really appreciate your knowledge of Robert's rules.
yes,
Thank
I
you.
don't, I mean,
yes.
you're a real asset in that sense, which doesn't mean if you don't want to do it, that I
Yeah.
understand you're in your retirement years and stuff. But it certainly is nice to have that
Mhm.
knowledge,
Thank you.
whether you're the chair or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. If you guys if everybody wants to, that's fine with me.
I
I also
like,
like the
Okay.
way you keep the meeting moving. You're good at that.
Yes.
That's what you're supposed to do.
yeah,
I appreciate it.
I think you're doing a great
Thank you.
job, Marilyn. I support you staying there too.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, let's have a vote then. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And opposed. Okay, so now I'm the board chair again, and Lizzie, put it on your calendar. You're the vice
Okay,
chair, lady.
I'm getting a tattoo, man. I'm excited.
Okay, B. Okay, B. I'll just read it to you, everybody. Request for reconsideration of material. Harvey Gilliland has requested that HBO television series Deadwood be removed from the library collection. The library board is asked to discuss this request and make a final determination on whether the series will be retained or removed. Supporting documents are attached. So I'll just start it off here, but I would like each person to say something. So
Yes.
I don't know how everybody's screen is, but I'm in the middle of the top row. Mary Ellen's next to me, Gina's below. So is that how yours looks? And Tara's right in the
No.
middle. So there's a circle around her.
No, none of
Kind
us.
of
are
like,
No, I think it's all different.
It's all
okay,
red.
so what I'll do then for my circle to make sure everybody, so I'll just start off and then Mary Ellen will be next and then Gina, and I can just prompt you, to say what you, okay. But first, Tara, do you want to say something first?
No, I feel like I said what I need to say in my report.
Okay,
Just to let you know that if you want to change how your screen is organized on the top right-hand corner, there's a little box that says view. And that you can do,
I like this view.
you can do,
You're in the middle.
you can do the Brady Bunch view like we're doing right now, or you can do a speaker view, which shows the person who speaks, the
Oh,
biggest one.
gotcha.
Choose. Yeah.
Okay, so I did not watch the series when it came out because I'm not real fond of old Western things. Unless it's that silly one, Blazing Saddles. I like that. But so I didn't really even know about it. But Jeff actually watched the whole thing.
Oh.
And then I got it from the library and I watched part of the first disc. It was interesting hearing Jeff's perspective. He said that, yeah, there was a lot of, swear words and there's sex, he says, but it was like history, it was historical. The whole gist of it to him is that how bringing the train across the country brought the country together, and then about the gold mining. So yeah, he was kind of surprised. So, and when I just watched it, part of it, yeah, just a whole bunch of men swearing and cussing. And I mean, it's interesting. There's, because they were in towns, they're so close together. I mean, it's, and so many just men. And I know that was historical also. There weren't many women out on anyway. So my perspective is that it's, I don't see any reason to boot it out. Mary Ellen, you're on my screen next.
Okay, well, we watched the whole series, really enjoyed it. I like Westerns, we both do. On the other hand, it was one of those shows where I always had my knitting nearby. So when the violence and the sex and all the creepy, anything that creeped me out came up too much, then I just started knitting and that's how I cope with those kind of things. But I have, I don't like to watch that, but the show itself was really well done. The characters were well developed. It was fascinating script. I love the historical aspect of it. So we liked it. As far as a collection item, I'm trying to imagine, I don't know what Harvey's complaint was, whether it was that children might get their hands on it. So if that's the concern, I think we need to remember that parents are the ones who are the arbiters of choice there for kids. And if a kid comes home with that, and a parent needs to pay attention to what their kids are bringing home and be in charge of that, because that's not up to our librarians or us or anybody else to do for kids. People need to use their discretion. It is marked on the material that it's for a mature audience. People have been forewarned. They know what they're getting into. And if they don't want to watch it, they don't have to watch it. They can choose something else. And I think with all the awards it's received and how popular it is, it proves that it's a worthy item to keep in the collection. That's my take on it.
Okay, and Gina, you're next, but before that, since Mary Ellen, what concerns him is the X-rated and all that, but he thinks that he doesn't even mention kids. He just thinks it needs to be gone and burned. So,
Okay.
Gina.
Yeah, I've never seen it. But all the things that Mary Ellen was saying about, that resonates with me as well. And and Tara has all kinds of valuable stuff about our policy and everything, that I just find that we have to follow our policy. And that's what I appreciate, our policy, that it's there, because it kind of guides us when these kind of things come up. We have something really good to stand on and look at to help us make those choices, even though I feel like in this case, I don't think it wasn't a hard choice for me to say, well, there's a lot of things that not everyone likes, but that doesn't mean that you don't get to take them out of the library. And so yeah, I agree with and totally support you, Tara, in your decision to keep it. And also I do kind of get like a little bit like, "Ugh," about the burn, like the use of the word
Yeah.
burn it, is a little rough. But yeah, no, I support Tara and her decision, and agree with what Mary Ellen was saying and what you were saying, Marilyn.
Okay, thank you. Alec, you're up next.
I'm not familiar with it, but like Gina said, it's all the protocols in place, and I don't see any reason. There's no mention of, I love Harvey. I give him a listen for sure. I don't see any reason to pursue the issue any further.
Lizzie, thank you. Thank you, Alec.
Yeah. I agree with you all. I think it's a slippery slope, you know, and I just trust the judgment of Tara. And I did Google it. I didn't watch it, but I read a lot of reviews. And I mean, yeah, some people didn't like the violence, the sex, the language, but let's face it, there's an awful lot of that available. I mean, yes, I agree.
Okay, thank you, Lizzie. Barb?
I agree with everything everybody has said so far. I think, Tara, you made the proper decision, and I agree with Lizzie's slippery slope. I don't agree with banning any books or DVDs or anything like that. I'm not familiar with this particular, with Deadwood, but from what everybody has said, Mary Ellen and Marilyn, you've seen it. And if I were to watch it, I'm not going to take up knitting, but I'll maybe just not watch everything. But anyway, Tara, I think you've made the right decision. And I think it's very wise of you to put it in front of the board, since it has become an issue. And I agree with what you did.
Okay, thank you, Barb. Elisa?
You guys already described all the points that I believe into too. So again, I support her decision, and I appreciate also involving us into this to be able to look into this. And as you guys all said already, I also agree that just because this gentleman doesn't appreciate this content, there is no reason to take it away, because other people might like it, and the library policy describes that it's not their responsibility to guarantee or that whatever kids take away from the library, and what they guarantee is an open content for all people. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I have a couple
I-
questions. Oh, sure.
Can I add one statement I wanted to mention too, that, you know, when we looked at our selection guidelines, it's part of it reads, factors considered when adding specific material include but are not limited to. And a couple of those points are public interest and level of demand, and having an audience for the material. And just by the circulation statistics that Tara mentioned, the popularity of it and all the reviews that it has won, I think it has earned a place to be there. And I think it's also really important to remember that, like everybody has said, there's such a wide range of people that use the library, and no one person or person's views can be used to control what others can see and not see. So we have to remember that. That's important for everyone to understand. I know some people feel real strongly about their personal beliefs about what is proper, but you know, they can't be the arbiter for everyone.
Well said, Mary Ellen. Well
Yeah.
said.
I want
Yeah,
to
Mary Ellen. Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, who's gonna tell you good cowboy from bad cowboy?
Like my Cowboys.
Oh, Clint Eastwood, come on.
Yeah.
Love
Make
those
my
guys.
day.
I
No,
always wanted to be one.
Gina, what did you have to say?
Oh, I just wanted to thank Tara for gathering all this stuff for us so
Yes.
nicely in the packet, to also just like, remind us. It was good to go, oh yeah, this, to look at the policy again like that. And I appreciated you gathering all that for us.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's a good reason to have policies in place. These things-
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, it was
And
nice.
it's happening more and more all over the country right now. It's kind of a new wave of reconsideration requests and storming the bastions. I think that possibly the first more to come,
So Tara,
fortunately.
I had a couple questions. So I know you probably gave Harvey the policy. Did he ask for the policy on that? Did you
You know, I
give?
left it at the front desk and as of yesterday, I forgot to check this morning. He had not picked it up.
Okay, so okay. And then also, have we ever removed any item that has been requested be removed?
We've actually never had a formal request for removal.
Oh,
Okay,
We had informal
Okay.
conversations at the front desk with various staff members. No one's actually ever come to me and it's never got to this level before. Just why I thought
Okay.
it would be good for us to bring it to this next level so
Yep.
that we know what this process looks like and
Yeah.
and can really, I showed you guys the intellectual freedom policy. I guess it was maybe 6 months ago now, we did a refresher.
Mhm.
But in the context of something actually that's being contested, I think it's a good thing for all of us to
Yeah.
go through this sort of real road testing, I guess is the word I'm looking for,
Mm.
of the policy.
Mhm.
I have a question. Tara, when you're going through and taking things out of circulation, what criteria are you using? Is it strictly how often it has been checked out or never checked out, or how do you do that?
We actually have some policies about that, but sort of informally how we deal with it. It's condition, it's circulation, and for some books, it's just old information or some DVDs, like
Right.
old medical books are a great example, stuff about the USSR, like you want to get rid of those sorts of things. But for offensive content, no, we would be careful not to weed based on
Yeah.
those or personally offensive content.
And with the circulation part of it, is it so many years it has not been checked out? Is that what you look at?
Exactly. It depends on the collection. Some really high circulating collections like the DVDs, I think we're down to like a year or two. If it hasn't circulated in the last year
Okay.
or two, then it's likely to get pulled or replaced with a newer version. Circulation is the primary
Yeah. Okay.
reason why things would get taken out of the collection.
Mhm.
What's the criteria for books? Or when do they approach for the criteria?
Years wise, we break it down into like each part of our, say, the nonfiction collection, each section circulates at completely different rates. Their turnover rates
Oh.
are different. So the cookbooks turn over really fast.
Yeah.
Like almost every year a cookbook will be checked out. But the history section, every 5 years, one of the books in there will be checked out. And so we kind of go section by section based on popularity.
Okay.
And so it fluctuates in the collection how stringent we are. But some collections, like the cookbooks, we weed really hard because it's the only way we can add new cookbooks.
Okay, and Elisa, you had a question a minute ago. Do you still have that?
Yeah, I wanted to ask if parents are allowed to access their kids' records or not, to what they check
Oh.
out.
This is an interesting question. We actually have a policy on that. Maybe I'll bring it to the next meeting. So, and I'm speaking off the cuff here. It's always better to read the policy before you say it in a public meeting. But the children need to give, under Alaska state statutes, I believe the children need to give consent for their parents. So parents do not automatically have consent to their children's, I'm going to say, public library records. Mary Ellen might know something different about school libraries.
Well, I thought we
yeah.
didn't keep records.
Well, what you've got checked out,
Right.
but what the person has already checked in, like returned, no, you wouldn't have access to that. But parents don't automatically have the right to see what's checked out on their children's account. Children have a right to privacy. The one exemption there is if a book is lost. And so, yeah, which of course happens on children's accounts. So, but I'm going to bring it to the next meeting so we can talk about it, because that's one that's provoked some interest over the years. Well, we've had at least 1 or 2 upset parents over that particular one, but it's a state statute that we're following. And so we're bound to follow that.
So that kind of goes with my final question, which is, how do we monitor, say, a 12-year-old potentially going to self-checkout and checking out Deadwood?
We don't monitor that.
Okay.
As per our policy, we don't act what they call in loco parentis, so in the place of the parent.
Right.
We need parents to make those decisions for what their kids do and
Okay.
do not consume from our collection. It's,
Right.
it's not always an easy, or I don't know, it doesn't always feel like the right thing, but based on the First Amendment and intellectual freedom, which was what public libraries are based on, it's what our policy is based on. We need to not act in the place of the parent.
Right. So then that also reminded me, thinking about like when kids look at our collection, when they're looking at the DVDs. I mean, it probably, what would this one be rated? I mean, what did you have it rated? It wouldn't be X-rated. It would be.
It has a TVMA rating on the back, which we don't do. That's like most television shows have ratings.
Right, because I'm looking, I mean, so is that no, that would just complicate things. I mean, if we would have to put that there, because then of course kids would know, oh, this is what I need to look at. I mean, no, they wouldn't. Not all kids would do that, but some, if they're curious, might.
I would have done that.
Creates an attractive nuisance sort of thing,
Yeah.
People want to seek it out. Yeah, it's an interesting conundrum because, if we're not monitoring and we don't allow parents to see the record, then I could see where, that could be a concern if a kid was deliberately going for items like that and then hiding it from their parents,
Parents could revoke the card.
Pardon?
Oh,
The parents can revoke the card.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
kids only have cards because their parents have signed something saying that they understand that what the responsibility. So.
Oh, there you go. And again, another slippery slope.
Yeah.
Right,
mhm.
exactly.
Once you start parenting other people's children, I mean.
No, can't.
No, you can't do that.
No.
So Tara, do you want a motion so you have a vote of confidence, or is this good, the discussion enough?
No, I think it would be great to have a motion, because now what I'm going to do is communicate in writing to Harvey the board's decision.
Good.
And so it would be nice to have that.
Okay. And then when you do that, will you send him the policy, since he didn't look at it, but he may read it if it's mailed to him?
I will definitely
Okay.
attach the meeting packet for him to look at.
Okay, so I'd like to hear a motion, and probably it should have in here what we're doing, please.
I'll make a motion to decline Harvey Gilliland's request for reconsideration of material and retain Deadwood in our collection.
I second it.
Okay, any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, you can say it's unanimous.
Yep.
Tara, thank you.
So I'm jotting this down as we talk.
Oh,
But
okay.
one comment for Harvey too is I think he did this in the correct way. He filled out a form, he talked to Tara, and then Tara talked to us, and now she's going to get back to Harvey. It's well done.
Mhm.
And maybe
Yeah.
we could thank him for his,
Yes,
his interest in that,
right.
And for using our library.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Good.
Well, we know that Tara will have it well written, because we know she does that.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay, we're doing good today. Okay, discussion items, updates on the Friends. Do you have anything, Barb?
Well, I have just a little bit, and that is we did not have an October book sale because there was nobody here to run it. So there are lots and lots of books, and especially DVDs for the November, I believe it's
Oh.
6th book sale. So if it, get the word out there, we've got probably 2 cartfuls of DVDs.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
So
Okay.
there will be a book sale, and if anybody's interested in helping and in town, let me know. But I've got Cindy and I will be setting it up, and I've got 2 people for cleanup right now and a possible 3rd person. So that's really all I have to say. But there's a lot of books in the back for the sale.
Good. Well, be sure to have someone go on buy, sell, trade, Tradio, I'm sorry, and mention it.
Mhm.
Because that will get to a lot of people.
I think, Tara, I think Chris usually does that, does she?
She's pretty good about that. I don't listen at the time she does it, but normally, yeah, she does.
Yeah, she's very
Right.
good. Yeah.
Because she's on Friday usually, because Friday is her day off.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
If Chris
Perfect.
could do that, that'd be great. And she has a very nice voice for that too.
Mhm.
At our last meeting,
Okay.
we talked about the Helmy Jensen community sign, and it's in the hands of Devron's Homeport Electronics. They'll be fabricating the sign and putting it on the door. I've asked for them to have it done by the end of November with
Okay.
time with the Friends ideas for what we might do on December 6th.
Right.
So just to let you know that that ball is rolling, and I hope we
Good.
get in time.
Hopefully it's smaller, so maybe it will happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that we'll have to figure that a little closer. I almost don't want to actually announce we're doing anything until I see that sign on the door.
Right. And so speaking of that then, so what did we see? December 6th.
Mhm.
And so now we're about the next meeting. When is it usually on Wednesdays? Will it be, should we do it before Thanksgiving? Because, well, or maybe the week before is good enough. I don't know.
Well, one thing we sometimes do is combine our November and December meetings.
True.
I know I will be gone, and many of you will probably be booked up the week of Christmas, which was.
When are you? Oh, you're going to be gone for Christmas. When are you here in November?
I am here in November, or we could do it the first week of December.
Oh, okay. Sure.
That's a common thing for the board to do, is to push it to the first week of December, and then it covers both our meetings.
Okay.
I like that idea.
Sounds good.
And then if we need to do anything for the celebration for Helmy's name, the room, we can email, but otherwise we can figure it out on December 1st. Does that work for everybody?
What day of the week is that?
That's a Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, great, everybody. Thank you so much. You are all just charming as usual. And as Sue Paulson would say, full speed ahead on through the rest of October and
Yes.
November. Yahoo. Okay, well, I'd like a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. And thank you, Tara.
Thanks, guys.
See you,
Yeah.
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody. Nice to
Bye.
see y'all.
See you
Take care.
later.
Bye.
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 Good job.